This is the AB4WS radio show. Every week, bringing you the exciting amateur radio news and information happening in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana areas.
The AB4WS radio show can be found on the Apple Podcast app or your favorite podcast application. This week, we continue our coverage of the Dayton Hamvention as Mark Stephen Williams, K9GX, continues his interview with Michael Coulter, WHCI. This week, talking about Hamvention Awards being presented.
Hamvention 2024 is coming up on the 17th through the 19th of May, and I'm pleased to be visiting today with Michael Coulter, Whiskey 8 Charlie India, who is the official spokesperson and also the awards chair. And again, the theme for this year's Hamvention is exploring our community. But you've got a lot of awards. We do Amateur of the Year, Technical Achievement. Tell me a little bit about those for 2024, if you would, sir.
Okay, and first off, I want to acknowledge all of our 700 volunteers. It's right about that number, 700 volunteers who work hard in the Hamvention.
You guys do an amazing job.
None of us make any money doing it, and a lot of us, just spend so much time with it. But, for me, and I think for a lot of us, probably you too, amateur radio isn't really a hobby. It's a way of life.
Well, and I got to tell you, one of my pet peeves is the world calls ham radio a hobby. I call it a service, the ham radio service. But go ahead.
Anyway, well, we got a lot we could talk about. Anyway, I want to talk about the award winners. Now, there's 4 different awards that we give. The first one I want to talk about is the Special Achievement Award. And that award is for, somebody who's been working hard trying to really make something happen in amateur radio. And it may not necessarily been for a long period of time, but it just makes a big impact. And it may not be super technical, but it just makes an impact. So this year's Special Achievement Award goes to Anthony Uskri, Kilo 8, Zanzibar Tingo. And Anthony's from up near Akron, Ohio. And he's first licensed in 81. And he's been a QRP operator, contester, and teacher throughout his career in amateur radio. He upgraded to Amateur Extra in 2000. He's active on HF, VHF, UHF using CW, phone, and digital. His QRP contacts now top 115,000.
Really?
And he has consistently finished in the top 10 of various major contests and finished first in the world and U.S. in both CQ Worldwide Phone and CW QRP categories multiple times. As a bonus, his QRP DXCC total recently topped the 328 mark.
Wow.
And he's completed 11 bands, worked all states. So why he got this award is between licensing classes he helps with, club programs, webinars, Hamfests, conferences, youth and school radio demonstrations, and other in-person online talks. Anthony has presented over 500 sessions since the beginning of COVID-19. He's presented multiple times for Contest University, QSO Today Expo, and at Dayton Hamvention. He does a weekly class called The Joy of Operating. He does that for the Long Island CW Club. He serves as the ARRL Ohio Section Youth Coordinator and is an officer in his local radio club. He enjoys writing as well as speaking and has prepared articles for a variety of publications. So we looked at Anthony's work, and everybody was pretty favorably impressed. That's our Special Achievement winner.
And that's Anthony Kilo 8 Zulu Tango.
Right, Anthony Uskri, and we're really happy to give them that award.
And then there is the Technical Achievement Award, and I think I know who this guy is.
Well, it wasn't me. No, I'm just kidding. Technical achievement this year goes to Ward Silver, N0AX. And for about the past 15 years, Ward has been the lead editor of the ARL Handbook,
right,
and the ARL Antenna Book. He's a primary author of all 3 ARL license manuals and study guides from 2004 until his retirement in 2023. He wrote a well-received Grounding and Bonding for the Radio Amateur, which is now in its 2nd edition, and Ham Radio for Dummies, now in its 4th edition.
I have a copy of that in my library. Last time I saw Ward, we were on the bus in 2002 on the way up to the WRTC in Finland. Go ahead, I interrupted. I'm sorry.
No, that's a good story. And he has his monthly QSD column, Hands on Radio,
right,
ran for 180 issues and has now been published in book format. The recent ARL book, the Here to There Radio Wave Propagation, includes his contributions, including being its editor. He gives many online and in-person presentations and is a 2-time recipient of the Bill Orr Technical Writing Award as well. He's an electrical engineer. He designed microprocessor-based products and medical devices for 20 years before beginning a second career as a teacher and writer. Licensed since 1972, he is a co-founder, and get this, a co-founder of the World Radio Sport Team Championships and was inducted into the CQ Contest Hall of Fame in 2015 with numerous top scores and records. He is the president of the Yasmin Foundation and is also a board member of the HamSci Collaborative Research Group, hamsci.org. And Ward's primary interests in amateur radio include radio sport, antenna design, and supporting his local emergency response team. And I've had the opportunity to know him quite a while, and I enjoy every time I have a chance to talk with him. He's such a positive guy, so positive about amateur radio, and a very, very humble fellow as well. So I can't give this guy more kudos. His work is, what he didn't even mention here is all the presentations that he does in Zoom all the time. I think he was getting a little bit tired of them at times, but he, like our special achievement winner, went after this with gusto. He just kept going on it. So, yeah, I think he's a great choice.
And then we have a Club of the Year. Now, who's the Club of the Year this year?
Well, all these are very difficult choices, by the way, in the committee. And I want to say one thing about choosing winners is that, when you look at the person of the club, that what is their overall impact on amateur radio in the largest sense of the word? How many people does it really affect in a very positive way? I think we could, make awards of people it might affect in a negative way, I suppose, but we want to mention that. But the Club of the Year, always a tough one. And I do want to mention that is an award that I started probably at least 15 years ago, maybe longer, because I feel that really the heart of amateur radio in any area is most generally club. And from that, they support each other, as I know we do in our club and the other clubs I belong to. We support each other and we try to do things and try to look out for the best and have activities. And so this year, Club of the Year is the Ladies Radio League, the Young Ladies Radio League, YLRL.
YLRL, that's easy for you to say.
Not always. You notice I tripped on it. But the YLRL is proud to be celebrating its 85th anniversary this year.
Wow.
With members from all over the world. The organization has been involved in everything from contests to emergency events to helping new hams get licensed and on the air, as well as everything in between. They were established in 1939. And the YLRL has been found at Hamfests and conventions all over the world and has been proud to have had a booth at Hamvention since the 50s. They have a mission, and their mission is women helping women in amateur radio. But there are also contests and award opportunities for the OMs who support their YLs. The YLRL has the motto, QRV, I am ready. And they are ready to assist in the radio community. So if you don't know much about the YLRL and attend their forum this year, learn a little bit more, or just look them up on, you could find them online. But what a great group that is. And so it's been really exciting for us to announce them as Club of the Year.
Fantastic. And then we have Amateur of the Year. And who's that going to be this year?
Well, it isn't you, and it isn't me, but I'm just teasing you. The amateur of the year is a gentleman, in every sense of the word, too, as I've got to know him. His name is Edward Engelman, KGHCX. Kilo George 8, Charlie X-Ray, and he's from Menominee, Michigan, and he is the founder of the Young Amateurs Communication Ham Team. That's called Yacht. Mm-hmm. Ed was first licensed in 91 and reached amateur extra class in 2000. He's been a member of the ARL since 91. He serves his home club, I think I'm saying it right, the Marinette and Menominee Amateur Radio Club as a VE. And by the way, this is up in the UP, by the way, UP of Michigan. Ed's background as an elementary teacher and principal for 33 years was instrumental in developing the talents he now uses in his work with young amateurs. His major objective is to help create and develop enjoyment and skill in communications technology via ham radio activity for its many modes. And Ed encourages friendships with other youth hams. Membership in Yacht, which is call sign again KHKDZ, has grown steadily. Many of the Yacht youth have given presentations at past Hamvention and Hamcation youth forums conducted by Carol Perry. A number of the youth members have been awarded national recognition for their ham radio activity and accomplishment. Besides the development of youth presenters, Yacht has Echolink sessions 6 evenings a week. Isn't that 6 nights a week?
Wow.
They have Echolink, and this guy runs this, but Ed has kept this thing alive. And he feels like he's really proud to be part of the future of amateur radio by paying forward his interest in amateur radio by developing the next generation of ham. And I know a lot of people may have never heard of Ed or might not have heard of Yacht, YACHT. What a tremendous organization. And when we got a chance to really look at it and see, it's just such a good, solid place for a lot of young people to come. And they can get on Echolink if they don't have a HF setup, but he encourages every kind of a mode. But as he brings these young people along, and my God, what a difference that they make, and this is almost every night event for him. Plus, on top of that, he has a newsletter he sends out weekly, and it's an excellent newsletter. It's not just a few lines about this. He just goes into detail, has reference in there every week. So, and when I talk to this guy on the phone, Ed is just such a salt of the earth, down to earth kind of guy. Loves amateur radio. I have recently gotten emails as we just announced these winners. I've gotten more emails about a positive response about Ed winning this award. Just from people who helped him along the way, young people, and even some of the young people who are still active in the group emailed me. So, that's a very, very good representation for Ed. So that's our amateur of the year.
Well, now, will there be a forum or a presentation where all of these will be awarded, or are they going to be awarded separately in different locations?
Well, we have a banquet, which is it's a small banquet, and it's more of an intimate gathering because some of the winners invite their families and maybe some close friends, and we have some of the dignitaries from the amateur radio world that will celebrate their win, and we have that awards banquet. But then we also, right before we announced the prizes at the prize drawing, we introduced the award winners to everybody there, so they get a chance to see them, and they'll be around. I believe all of them are coming. Not 100% sure on that, but we certainly hope so. And you'll be able to meet some of them there.
Thanks, Michael. That's Michael Coulter, W8 Charlie India, Hamvention spokesman and awards chairman. Hamvention 2024 is happening May 17th through the 19th at Xenia, Ohio. Next week, Michael and I will discuss forums and vendors. For the AB4WS radio show, I'm Mark Stephen Williams, Kilowatt 9 Germany X-Ray.
Are you wondering what to do with those Eclipse glasses? Well, it could help out a lot if you would bring those glasses with you to the Dayton Hamvention and drop them off at the Hamvention Youth on the Air booth number 4304. So they can be used with the Argentinian campers at the 2024 Youth on the Air Americas Camp. They will be watching an eclipse in October. The Western Kentucky Aries Group will hold a drill on April 27th from 8 a.m. Central Time on the W4NJA 147060 repeater with a PL tone of 179.9. April 27th is the Ohio Aries NVIS Day. From 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., stations will set up near vertical incident skywave HF stations, testing their communications on HF throughout the state of Ohio. This setup works to provide reliable radio coverage, generally in a 400-mile radius. In times of emergency, critical incidents, and natural disasters, these communications are extremely important. For more information on this event and NVIS, go to awrl-ohio.org/sec/NVIS_DAY. The Queen City Emergency Net is planning to operate the Ohio NVIS event on April 27, setting up at 9 a.m. and beginning operations at 10 a.m. until early afternoon. All persons interested in joining them are invited to come out to the W8VND Finneytown, Ohio site. They'll be operating off-grid using batteries and solar power. Steve, NATFD, is looking for volunteers for this year's Flying Pig Marathon with activities May 1st through May 5th. The volunteer website is at flyingpigmarathon.volunteerlocal.com. Use the password of HAM. If you have questions or problems, reach out to Steve, NATFD, at natfd@fuse.net. Another great event to volunteer for is the Paddlefest, where amateur radio operators provide communications for safety and logistics for the big Paddlefest event on the Ohio River. This year, the Paddlefest will be held on August 3rd, 2024. There are positions both on the river and on the shore. If you'd like to volunteer for this fun event, email Rick, KD4PYR, at KD4PYR@ARRL.net. On May 7th, the OHKYIN Amateur Radio Society will hold their meeting at 7:30 p.m. at the Laughlin Church of the Nazarene, 335 West Wyoming Avenue in Laughlin, Ohio. Stephen Gallagher, KEATEY, will be providing the group with information on portable solar power. The meeting will be both in person and over Zoom. For information on how to log in via Zoom, go to OHKYIN.org. On May 11th, the Brunch Bunch will be meeting at 1 p.m. at the Steak and Shake on 4949 Ridge Avenue in Oakley. Come on out and get in on all the Brunch Bunch fun. Because of the Hamvention, the MONIX groups will join together for a joint meeting on May 11th. Stay tuned for the location announcement. The U.S. Department of Defense will host this year's Armed Forces Day Crossband test on May 11, 2024. For more than 50 years, military and amateur stations have taken part in this event, which is an interoperability exercise between hobbyist and government radio stations. The event is open to all licensed amateur radio operators and will not impact any public or private communications. The AFD Crossband test is a unique opportunity to test two-way communications between military communicators and radio stations in the amateur radio. These tests provide opportunities and challenges for radio operators to demonstrate individual technical skills in a tightly controlled exercise scenario. Military stations will transmit on selected military frequencies and announce the specific amateur radio service frequencies monitored. All scheduled times will be in Zulu, and all scheduled frequencies will be in upper sideband unless otherwise noted. Information on the frequencies, times, and other technical information can be found at the DoDMars.org website on the Armed Forces Day page. The National Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting, in conjunction with the Westchester Amateur Radio Association, announced expanded hours for the museum during the 2024 Hamvention. They'll be open on Thursday, May 16th from 1 to 9 p.m., Friday, May 17th from 1 to 9 p.m., Saturday, May 18th from noon to 9 p.m., and Sunday, May 19th from noon to 5 p.m. Admission is $10 at the door. Their amateur radio station, WCAVOA, will be on the air to operate. The museum is a short drive from Hamvention, either down Interstate I-75 or US 42 from Xenia, Ohio. New exhibits include a dedicated room for amateur radio and shortwave equipment. The newly renovated ham shack with state-of-the-art equipment from Yaesu, ICOM, and Elcraft. Amateur radio service operators are available to enhance your visit to the museum. For further information, go to voamuseum.org or wcavoa.org. They'll also have a Facebook page at National Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting. Regular hours are Saturdays and Sundays 1 to 4 p.m. and are located at 8070 Tylersville Road in Westchester, Ohio. An AUXCOMM class will be presented on May 20th, 21st, and 22nd, the 3 days immediately following the Hamvention. Prerequisites are FEMA IS-100, IS-200, IS-700, and IS-800. To register for the class, send an email to jolenshead.us.civ@us.navy.mil with the subject line AUXCOMM registration, and attach the PDF copies of the FEMA IS 100, IS 200, IS 700, and IS 800 certificates. In the body of the email, include the name of the public safety agency that you are most likely to support with auxiliary communications, your call sign, and your cell phone number. The class will be held in the city of Beaver Creek, which is about 6 miles west of Hamvention site. If you have questions, contact Bob Baker, N8ADO, the Greene County Area's Emergency Coordinator, at n8ADO@woh.rr.com.
Repeater news.
The Fulton County, Kentucky Amateur Radio Club has made some significant changes to the K4CAY 2-meter repeater. It has now been set to analog only, and Wires X has been removed from the site to hopefully fix an issue with this repeater. They have installed a new 440 repeater that will be digital only on Wires X and connected to the DMR repeater via the K4CAY node to the Brandmeister Talk Group 311035 KEN TNN. The frequencies of this repeater have not been announced yet until the final coordination for the repeater has been achieved, but this repeater is expected to cover Fulton, Hickman, Lake, and Obion counties. The repeaters are open for everyone to use, however they ask that you keep your QSOs short to save the equipment. Stay tuned for information as it develops. The Kentucky Colonel Amateur Radio Club has taken the 147.33 KY4BG repeater off the air due to a license renewal issue. It will remain off the air until that can be resolved. The nets will be moving to the 147.165 repeater until the issue is resolved.
Hamfests.
April 27th is the Tusco Amateur Radio Club Hamfest at the Tuscarawas County Fairgrounds, 259 South Tuscarawas Avenue in Dover, Ohio. April 28th is the Athens Hamfest at the Athens Community Center, 701 East State Street in Athens, Ohio. May 5th is the Lucas County Aries Trunk Sale and Swap Meet at the Toledo Speedway, 5639 Benore Road in Toledo, Ohio. Starting on May 11th and running through May 16th is the RV Radio Network Hamfest at the Berlin RV Park, 5898 State Route 39 in Millersburg, Ohio. Talk in on 146.520 Simplex. May 17th through May 19th is the granddaddy of all Hamfests, the Dayton Hamvention at the Greene County Fairgrounds, 210 Fairgrounds Road in Xenia, Ohio.
Are you looking to upgrade your license? Do you have someone else that's interested in the hobby? Here are some upcoming exam opportunities.
The Milford Amateur Radio Club holds amateur radio testing on the third Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. at the Miami Township Civic Center, 6101 Meyer Drive in Milford, Ohio. Please pre-register at milfordhamradio.org. The Dayton Amateur Radio Association has exams frequently. For their exam schedule, email exams.w8bi@gmail.com. On April 27th at 10 a.m., the Wilderness Road Amateur Radio Club is sponsoring a testing session at the American Legion, post number 46, number 45 Spears Lane in Danville, Kentucky. Please pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions. For more information, contact Carol Miller, AF6MB, at 541-602-6535. On May 11th, the Westchester Amateur Radio Association will hold an exam session at 10 a.m. at the Voice of America Museum, 8070 Tylersville Road in Westchester, Ohio. Pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions/WC8VOA. On May 11th at 10 a.m., the Bluegrass Amateur Radio Society will hold an amateur radio testing session at the Red Cross Building in Classroom A at 1450 Newtown Pike in Lexington, Kentucky. Please pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions/KE4MAI. For more information, contact Fernie Williams, KE4MAI at 859-536-3393. June 8th, the Westchester Amateur Radio Association will hold an amateur radio exam session at 10 a.m. at the Voice of America Museum, 8070 Tylersville Road in Westchester, Ohio. Pre-registration is required at hamstudy.org/sessions/WC8VOA. On June 8th at 10 a.m., there'll be an amateur radio license exam session at the Georgetown Police Department, 550 Bourbon Street in Georgetown, Kentucky. Please pre-register at hamstudy.org/sessions/WX4GPS. Special thanks to this week's content contributors: K9GX, KE4WA, KY4GW, WB8YYS, KD8ZLD, K9HIO, N8LAR, K4NKU.
If you have something you think other amateur radio operators in the area would be interested in, send the information or your recorded audio file attached in an email to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com.
Covering your amateur radio news and information in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana tri-state area. This is Jack Prindle, AB4WS in Big Bone, Kentucky.